have reached Red Steele's Toy Collector Review. I'm your man, Red Steele, and today I'll be reviewing Transformers Legacy United. Transformers Legacy United Wingblade. But before I get to the actual review, I just want to go over some of the awesome details on this packaging. Up front here's two books where I'm showing you both the figure and all of her accessories inside. Up top here, you have the Transformers Legacy United logo. And in the corner here, you have the 8+, which is the age requirement for this figure. The other corner here, you have the Takara Tomy Transformer Generations logo. Alongside here it says Transformers. In the middle, you have this beautiful illustration of Wingblade in her jet mode. Then over here it says Cyberverse Universe Wingblade. And below that again, you have the Transformers Legacy United logo. And over here you have the Hasbro logo. And down here it says it is a deluxe class figure. To the side of the packaging here, you have two cool profile pictures of Wingblade in a robot mode. The other side of the packaging here, you have this beautiful montage of all the Transformers in Legacy United, starting with Tigerhawk, below that Tasmanian Kid, and Megatron. On the other side you have Wingblade, Magnius, and down here you have Magmatron. Down here you have Tigertron and another Magnius. Down here you have 40 years of Transformers. On the back of the packaging here, you have all of the figures features such as Wingblade in her robot mode and Wingblade in her jet mode. Transformers Legacy United Deluxe Class Cyberverse Universe Wingblade. Wingblade was released on December 16th, 2023 with the suggested retail price of $24.99, and she is available at all major retailers. Wingblade was released along with the other Transformers Legacy United Deluxe Class Wave 1 figures, Animated Universe Bumblebee, Rescue Bot Chase, and an Infernac Universe Magnius. Wingblade is a Cyberverse Universe inspired figure that converts into her jet mode in 16 steps. Her accessories include her Stormfall sword, fan blade, and instructions. Wingblade stands 5.5 inches tall, and she is meant for fans ages 8 and up. Next, I'll go ahead and convert Wingblade from her robot mode all the way to her jet mode. But the first thing you always want to do for your Transformer, any of your Transformers, you want to remove all the weapons and accessories. You want to take your Stormfall sword, put it off to the side. Because the first step of the transformation, you have the shoulder pieces right there and right there. You just want to go and bring those down just like that. Bring it down just like that. Step number 2, you want to turn Wingblade all the way around. At the bottom of her backpack right here, you have a little nose cone. You want to take this nose cone and bring it all the way down just like that. Step number 3, you have this backpack right here. You want to go and split it in half just like that, and it also splits the nose cone in half. You want to bring everything up just like that. Now in step number 4, that backpack you split apart, you got a couple nose cone pieces right there and right there. But they want to go in, there's a double jointed hinge right there. You want to bring that nose cone out just like that. Do that to the other side, take that nose cone, bring it down and out just like that. Step number 5, on each side of Wingblade she has these wings right there. You want to bring these wings down so they come down just like that. Do it to the other side, bring that wing, bring it down just like that. Now for step number 6, on her backpack you got a tab right there and right there. On her shoulders you have portals right next to her head right there and right there. You want to flip this backpack over so it tabs right into place just like that. Step number 7, you get that backpack now. You have various tabs right there, you have various portholes. Then want to go ahead and fold that cockpit up just like that so all the tabs and portholes meet in the middle just like that. Step number 8, you get this whole bottom portion right here, right at the waist. You want to go ahead and twist it so you rotate it all the way around just like that. Step number 9, you get these leg pieces. You got some tabs right there. You got some portholes right next to those tabs. Want to bring these legs together and just tab them into place just like that. Step number 10. You want to turn Wingblade all the way around. You got her feet right here. You want to take her feet, you want to flip them down just like that, and just like that. Step number 11. You got this tail fin in between the feet right here. You want to hold these feet down as you flip this tail fin up, just like that. Step number 12. On the side of the leg right here, you got this panel right here. You want to take this tail fin, you want to flip it up just like that. Go and do it to the other side. You got this tail fin right here. You want to flip it up just like that. Step number 13 is very complicated because you got a couple panels right here. You got a couple pegs right there and right there. You got the portholes where the fists are right there and right there. What you want to do is you want to open up these panels. You should bring these panels down just like that and just like that. Because there's a double jointed hinge right in the leg, right there and right there. What they want you to do, they want to go ahead and fold the knees so it goes into place. You got to make sure that these things kind of come out a little bit. Just like that, so you make clearance for this. You bring it up just like that. You kind of push it so the engine pushes that black piece down right here. So you want these panels still to be down. Make sure the fist goes right into that peg just like that. And the instructions don't really show you that, but that's where the hands need to go in this step, just like that. Step number 14. On the inside of the wing right here, you got a little tab right there. On the side of the knee, you got a porthole right there. Want to bring that wing, so tabs right into place just like that. Go and do it to the other side, bring that tab, bring it right into that knee, just like that. Now in step 15, you want to flip Wingblade over again. You got a couple tabs right on her thigh, right there and right there. You got a porthole right there and right there. We're going to flip these panels so they go right into that porthole, just like that. Do that to the other side, flip that panel over, flip that porthole just like that. Now for Wingblade's 16th and final step. We're going to flip Wingblade over and you got this landing gear right here. We're going to flip this landing gear out just like that. And now you have Wingblade in her full jet mode. Now that Wingblade in her jet mode and on my display table, I just want to go over some of her play features and accessories. First by talking about her Stormfall sword. And according to the instructions, there's a way to arm Wingblade with her Stormfall sword while she's in her jet mode. That is because on the handle of the sword, you have a peg right there and right there. On the back of her jet right here, between these little thruster engines, you have a couple portholes. And I'll slightly open it up so you guys can see. You got a porthole right there and right there. What you want to do is grab the Stormfall sword with this point pointing up. You want to plug that peg into one of the thrusters, just like that. You want to make sure it goes in the other one, and push everything back together just like that. And now you have Wingblade armed with her Stormfall sword while she's in her jet mode. And it's really cool, and usually I'm not a big fan of storing your weapons while your Transformers are in their vehicle mode. But here it adds to the transformation. It's actually kind of like a blast effect. It's like a little jet stream, purple jet stream, where she's like shooting off to space, so she's in the sky. It's really, really cool accessory. Really cool little play feature too. I really enjoyed that. And this is the, like I said, one of the few times where I actually do feel like the weapons do really play into the transformation. Really cool effect. I'm going to go and take the Stormfall sword back out again, put it off to the side. This Stormfall sword is a very cool accessory, but I'll get more into it when I talk about her robot mode. So I want to go and talk about her jet mode. It's really nicely done, and I believe this is the original mold. It's not a retool of any other Transformer. She's got a lot of cool mold details. She's got this paint detail over the fans for her wings right here. You got some paint detail right there where it's that silver metallic paint that they're using in a lot of the recent Transformers, where it's not a chrome detail, but it's like a metallic detail where you shine to the light and it has like a luster in certain angles of the light. Very nicely done. You got these little blue jewels right here that are really nicely done, and it really pops with the red paint. Because a lot of times when you paint over another color, that paint or that mold detail kind of bleeds through the paint. Well, you don't have that in this case right here. It's very nicely done. A lot of the black here kind of pops with the red. It's very nicely done. I like the color scheme for Wingblade. Very nicely done. You got this landing gear right here that goes into the cockpit right here. Very nicely done too, but unfortunately it's not an actual wheel. It's kind of like in a fixed position. It's like one molded detail right here, and you got these two fins right here. So when you want to rest her in her jet mode, she rests on those fins and those wheels. And I mean, safe on like a smooth surface like this, but you don't really want to roll her on any abrasive surfaces because you do risk doing some mold damages to the fins here in the landing gear. But very nicely done. It does, like I said, go into the cockpit, so if you want to fly her around, you can put the landing gear up and down. And you don't really get that too often with a lot of the newer Transformers. You know, you don't get the landing gear. They do mold details where it kind of like rests on the character. But cool thing with Wingblade, they did include that detail. Also, with these little fans right here on her wings, they're like on a little spindle right there where they kind of move around so she can move forward or she wants to move up and down. It's kind of a cool detail. She's got a really cool jet mode. Also, there's some cool little detail with her cockpit here too, because it's molded out of translucent plastic. And you got the little red paint detail right there to kind of give it that like that look that it's an actual cockpit. And you got some mold detail inside the cockpit that shows you the pilot seats. Very nicely done. This is a really cool vehicle mode, and I just really like Wingblade. I do have a Thrilling 30s version of Wingblade, and I did find her prior to filming this review, but she was still sealed, and I feel kind of funny about opening a figure that's been stored for so long in such pristine condition, so I couldn't do a side-by-side comparison. I have to tell you that Wingblade does look fantastic, but this one is good too. I really enjoyed this Wingblade. And let me go and rotate around so you guys see what it looks like from all angles. Now that Wingblade in her robot mode and on my display table, I once again want to go over some of her plate features and accessories. First, I talk about her fan blade. Her fan blade is attached to the back of her head, right here. When to remove that fan blade, just unpeg it from the back of her head, just like that. This fan blade mimics a Japanese fan, which is really cool. I don't know if it's much of a blade because it doesn't have really sharp edges, but I can understand because this is a children's toy. You don't want any kids to cause any damage with these sharp edges. But you get a lot of great mold detail, kind of simulate a Japanese fan. And it's painted in a gold paint where it's kind of got that metallic look to it, so if you hold it to the light, you get that little luster there. And it's molded from a black plastic, which is very impressive that you have this gold popping paint that contrasts against the black plastic, because a lot of the times when you do paint, you know, a colored mold, the mold does bleed through the paint. You don't have that in this case. The gold is really prominent on this accessory. But in order to arm Wingblade with this fan blade, the bottom here is actually a 5mm peg. Well, her fists are open-handed, but they're actually 5mm portholes. You just plug this fan right into that fist, just like that, and now you have Wingblade armed with her fan blade. Pretty cool accessory. I wouldn't have expected that because I think the other releases of Wingblade, that accessory does not remove from the back of her head. I could be wrong. And I do own, like I mentioned earlier, a Thrilling 30s version of Wingblade, but I never removed it from its package, so I don't know for sure if the fan blade was an accessory that could get detached from the other figures' heads. But the next accessory I want to go ahead and bring in is the Stormfall Sword. And this Stormfall Sword has a very impressive mold detail because it's two pieces of mold. The blade here is actually molded out of a translucent purple plastic. Kind of looks like an energon effect, which is really cool. The hilt here is actually molded out of a translucent plastic, but it's painted black right here. You have some mold detail that's really cool too. Let me see if I can get it in focus. You got this like turbine engine mold detail right here. And of course, you got those pegs that were utilized during the transformation, where you can put it into the back of the jet, which is really cool. We also have this handle right here, and you slide this handle in the other fist, and now you have Wingblade armed with her Stormfall Sword. This is a really cool figure, and I mean this accessory is really cool. And she's got such a prominent role in the, I believe it was Transformers, the Combiner Wars series, where she talked to the Titans, which was really cool. A really cool gimmick, and I kind of feel like that storyline was very strong, and she was a very strong character in that series. But I'm going to take this fan blade out of her hand and peg it right back into the back of her head. In order to do that, you take that slotted peg right here. You got a porthole right here. You just peg it right back into place. I mean, she is a really cool character. And let me see if I can get that in. Yep. You got a lot of great paint detail. They put a lot of love in this figure. You got her abdomen right here, which is got that metallic silver paint. You got that blue here that really pops. I think that's a really cool paint scheme where you got the blue, red, the silver, and the black. It just really pops. And even with this mold detail and paint detail for the face. I mean, let me see if I get in focus right there. It's just really nicely done. And it mimics a geisha almost. And it kind of reminds me of that episode of Transformers Generation 1 Season 3 with Nikita. So, I mean, that would have been really cool if they would have probably just utilized that character and maybe made a storyline from Nikita, but that was kind of an awful episode, so I don't think anyone makes any reference to that episode. But other than that, she's a great figure. I mean, they put a lot of love, and for a deluxe figure, there's a lot of mold detail, a lot of paint detail. You know, the articulation's fantastic, the transformation's fantastic. Overall, this figure is a fantastic figure. But if you guys found any of the information in this review valuable, please like and share this video. Also, if you really enjoy my content, please subscribe to my channel. And while you're there, click the bell to be notified of any future videos. I want to thank you guys for watching Steele's Awesome Toy Collector Review. I'll check you guys out next time.